love simple card ideas that can come together in just a few minutes. And today I have 10 simple birthday cards to share with you. Now, not only am I sharing with you the designs for how to make these cards, I'm also sharing with you some really simple techniques for how to come up with simple card designs of your own. Let's get started. So here's my first simple birthday card design to share with you. Now, as we go through these, I'll be sharing the products I use. I'm also going to share kind of a quick tip for how you can use this technique to come up with card designs of your own. So the stamp set I used here is Paradise Palms. The technique that you can use to turn this into other designs is to use some muted, pretty plain designer paper and to stamp over it with black ink to create these beautiful silhouette patterns. So I thought this turned out really neat, really fun. You can make these quickly. You can make a lot if you need to. You can make up all different ones as silhouettes. Just a really fun, simple birthday card idea. Here is my second card design, the Catch You Later stamp set, which is so cute, and the pretty simple technique, stamp something in black ink, color it in. You can use the coloring tool of your choice. Now, I used an aqua painter on this, which I love, my water painters, my aqua painters. You can use colored pencils, markers, whatever you choose. Stamp something cute, cute image, a nice greeting, color it in. My third birthday card idea for you here comes from the Turtle Friends stamp set and the coordinating turtle punch. And what is this one? Just to create some kind of really simple background and add a punch on top. So I stamped the greeting, I added the streamers because those are kind of a nice way to fill space quickly. Punched out, stamped and punched out the turtle, added him on top so he pops up for a little bit extra interest. Now, if you're curious about that bird right there, I did stamp the bird directly on the card itself. I could have stamped it and cut it out, but that would take more time, and we're trying to keep things quick and simple today. Number 4 was made with the Calming Camellia set. Now, I'll mention this. If you're watching this before the end of February, sale-a-bration is still happening. You can get a free gift when you order from Stampin' Up! For anything over $50. For every $50 you order, you can get a free gift. Actually, this is a host exclusive if you have a large order or if you want to gather a few orders amongst some friends or do a Facebook party with me. But this is number 4. So what is the technique here for this beautiful card? I just love how this turned out. Just to use large floral stamps in a small greeting. Now, I've done these in kind of a monochromatic style with just one color of ink. With this one, I switched it up because I had the floral stamp and the leaf stamp. So I used Blackberry Bliss ink for this one. I used Soft Succulent for the leaf. And then I use Soft Succulent for my mat, Blackberry Bliss for my background, but I just love these big floral stamps. And whether it's monochromatic or multiple colors like this one, I basically always love the way they turn out, and they're so quick to put together. Number 5, Blessings of Home. Here's the stamp set. Here is the card I created. Now keep in mind for any of these, you can stamp directly on the card itself like I did here, or you can do like what I did on one of these last couple cards, and you could do this as exact same design, but you could do it on a mat and put it on top of another card base in another color. Or if you want to step it up again, use another mat around your top one and on top of your card base. So you can use these same ideas super simply by stamping directly on the card or create those mats to step them up a little bit. But what I did for this one, I stamped these beautiful flowers. I love this stamp. I stamped it with smoky slate ink, and then I grabbed my sponge daubers. I inked these up on my ink pad and just started dabbing some color on. So I used some grape, I used some Granny Apple Green, some Misty Moonlight, and then some Daffodil Delight, and just dab those colors on. And isn't that a really neat effect? And really, this was very quick to do. Sometimes when you're coloring, it can take lots and lots of time. This was very quick and very simple. Number 6, Cactus Cuties. This is so fun, so cute. And the technique for this is to make an all white card with a focal point that pops up, that you're going to put some dimensionals behind to make it stand out. So I just stamped that cactus on a piece that pops up, put a little ribbon behind it, stamped my greeting, and this came together really fast. Number 7, and this is a really unique one, Amazing Silhouettes. Such a unique stamp set where the image itself is left blank while the area around it has sort of this watercolor look to fill it in. So what I did on this one, I stamped that large tree 3 times with a really muted color of ink. I used soft succulent, and then I stamped the greeting using the Slim Saying stamp set, which I have been using a ton because of these big, nice, bold greetings. Stamp that with a much darker color. So how can you recreate this? Have some kind of large stamp that you stamp in a muted color that doesn't really stand out a lot, and then put a big, bold greeting over top. Number 8, and I didn't mention this at the beginning, but my last 3 are all masculine card ideas. Sometimes it's so hard to come up with ideas for men. All 3 of my next 3 are masculine card ideas. So number 8, Let's Set Sail, and here is the card that I created with it. So how can you create a card similar to this? Create a focal point that you're going to pop up from your card, and then continue whatever that scene is in the background. See how I've continued the birds and that water in the background? So it gives it some special interest because it pops up. I have the mat, but then you have that continuity of the image in the background as well. Number 9, Your Biggest Fan. And this is so simple. If you don't use designer paper in your cards, I highly, highly encourage you to try it, because the recipe for this one, how you can try this yourself, is just to use a big piece of designer paper and a little greeting. I put a couple of strips of cardstock back behind that greeting, added some embellishments, but this came together really fast with just a nice piece of designer paper and a greeting. And last but not least, number 10, we have Wildlife Wonder. Now this is a set, I looked at this and I thought, how am I going to use that simply? Of course you could stamp them, you could cut them out. That takes time when I'm trying to keep things simple. Sometimes I have to challenge myself to figure out how to keep it simple. So I stamped these repeatedly, all in the same color. I used Early Espresso, stamped them all over that background, put it on top of the Early Espresso card base. But repeated monochromatic stamping is a way you can use a lot of stamp sets for really beautiful results. So those are my 10 ideas. Thanks so much for watching along. I hope this gives you some great ideas for how you can create some simple birthday cards or cards for any occasion in a few minutes to build up that card collection so that you can send out lots of cards to spread a lot of joy. Hope you have a wonderful day. You can find links to the products I used in the video description below. Don't forget about sale-a-bration happening through the end of February. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope you'll be back again next time when I'll be here helping you to hand make with love.